this is where I think it's going, is that the banks will start moving on, okay, we'll use the technology of the blockchain, but let us hold your wallet.
Yes.
You
That's
will be the
what
custodian.
I'm really worried about.
All right, next subject. Let's move on to the next subject there. What else have you got on that magic silver box there, Eric?
Well, there's a big banking overhaul going on. We've seen this year. We've seen less service. We've seen branches closing. We've seen announcements by Bank West. We're going all digital, closing down our branches by the end of the year, and our ATMs are very hard to come by. Macquarie Bank has announced recently that it's going to go completely cashless in the month of May of 2024. And it's no longer going to have cash at its branches, totally going to full digital model once again. They announced that originally back in September last year. And also not only cash, but check services. They're reducing that as well, getting rid of that. And that's on cash and check services. Deposits, withdrawals may not be available from their offices from the 20th of May.
I didn't think checks were still a thing, but there you go.
No, for those who are long-time listeners, I probably know my latest venture is into strata management. So most strata companies are actually handled by Macquarie because they've actually got a specified strata product. So what happened is, before I actually started in the industry, they actually notified all the strata managers they were going to have this great big massive plan for it. So it goes even further. So Macquarie and National Australia Bank have this relationship where if you want to deposit cash into your Macquarie Bank, you used to be able to go to a NAB branch and deposit cash. So NAB can't even accept cash on behalf of Macquarie anymore. And if Macquarie has a thing called the DEFT system, DEFT. So if you're paying a bill, you used your BPay and you scan and pay it. If you take your bills to the Australia Post to pay it, they charge you $2.50 per transaction. So even if you want to use cash, they're now charging you not only to use your FPOS facilities, they're also charging you to use your cash facilities as well.
It's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting, because every single time, I mean, you go pay a bill that magic $100 just gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, because obviously everybody takes a cut at every level, and some people are up in arms because they're looking at the control point of view, and I'm certainly one of them. I hate the fact that that everything that I do, or every dollar I spend, is documented. But it's the other thing. It's the fact that everybody's taking a slice of the pie. We're literally being stolen from, in my eyes, anyway, because there's no service. There's no service there.
No.
Right?
Well, the thing that gets me about Macquarie too is their phone banking services ended at the start of March.
Really?
So how do you complain? How do you ring up? How do you, if you have to sort something out? I get frustrated using robots. I really do. Auto bots that appear on chat things, and it's like, give me a real human, please. Give me a real human.
I'd take the please off and you might get one. I found with the Telstra system, you have to fully abuse the robot. They go, oh, I'm detecting an aggravation on your voice. Would you like to speak to a human? Yes. Right? And that's how you get around it. You start screaming down the phone, and then they go, oh, okay, we'll get you a human.
Okay, well, there's a handy tip.
Yeah.
It's so true though. All the electronics, all the AI, all that kind of thing. This is why everyone gets. I personally, I get the benefits of AI. We use it in our everyday lives. Let's face it. But at the same time,
I actually had a thought about that AI. I'm going to see if it can sort our music lists.
I see.
Add the tags and all that sort of stuff.
I still think there's a huge advantages for businesses who do business people to people, and I don't think that's ever going to go to some extent, because yes, okay, AI might be able to helpful in the background doing certain things. In delivering the products and services that business have. But at the end of the day, people like to deal with people.
They do.
We are human. We have a communal drive in us. We were designed and wired that way. And so I think that's really, really imperative for business to always remember moving forward. You can't automate everything.
No, you can't.
And you got to remember, AI is a tool. It is not your business model.
Yeah.
So shit in, shit out. You put good information in, you're going to get good results back. If you get a robot feeding information to a robot, it's just going to go haywire.
Hey, I've seen Terminator 2. That's enough for me.
What it says to me, though, I mean, there's something overall going on. It was interesting to see that the banks that collapsed in the United States in 2023 were crypto related, heavy on the crypto side.
Right.
There is some suggestions. I've been doing a lot of research on the whole crypto space lately. You can't ignore it. It's here to stay.
Yep.
It's getting a lot more interesting. I'm seeing a lot more opportunity in it as well. There is suggestions in some YouTube videos that with the move that Wall Street made in terms of making a Bitcoin ETF, which is, for those who don't, how to explain an ETF, is an exposure to an asset class that you can do through buying shares. So a company wants to give you access to the S&P 500. You don't have to buy a share from every 500 company on the S&P index. You buy a share from them and you get the same results that entire index would do. It's the same with Bitcoin. Rather than buying an entire Bitcoin, which is out of a lot of people's reach now,
Absolutely, yep.
They can buy a portion of that and see it perform as if Bitcoin would. Okay. So there is suggestions that Wall Street has now gone in and qualified that. Are the old traditional banks who trashed and trash-mouth crypto in the beginning now starting to want to control it because they know they're way behind the eight ball, want to get in on the game, have gotten in with the SEC of the United States and said, hey, we want a part of this, your big capitalist venture companies. And then they are now moving to get rid of those banks. There is suggestions on the internet that they're trying to squeeze that out and have control of the crypto space, their traditional banks.
I've got an idea in this one. So
let me just say one more thing on that. Can you hold that thought? It's interesting. I don't think it's any coincidence that the Australian banks are kind of pulling back services.
Oh, no question.
We're not going to do cash anymore. We're not going to have as many branches anymore.
Yep.
We're going to shut down our branches and go all digital. Is there a correlation? Because the technology in Australia is always further than the American is. Sorry, go for it.
So first of all, DP Loy, Bitcoin's just hit 100K, which is awesome. I think it's been there for a little bit, but anyway. And our number one favorite guy that always comes in with the best logo ever, the A is always in good spots. Josh, hardware wallets for the win. Do not give the banks your crypto.
And he raises a great point there, because I think that's what the move may, and I don't quote me, but this is where I think it's going, is that the banks will start moving on. Okay, we'll use the technology of the blockchain, but let us hold your wallet.
Yes.
You that's
will be the
what I'm really worried about. So
that's exactly
anyway, going back to my other thought. So remember when digital, like your household phones started getting scrapped for like their cordless handheld phones, and then we went to the mobile phones, and now who's got a landline out their home? No one's got them. It's a dead technology. And I as much as I love cash, I'm also a realist in this situation. We're getting to a point where cash is becoming obsolete. And I think it's one of those things you've got to be prepared for going to the digital market. And this is why education is absolutely crucial in this point. First of all, to learning where our financial system came from. So, Derek, bluskyfactory.com.au. Blue's only got the U, no E. And also for tomorrow, we've got the Crypto Hour of Power out, 1 o'clock with Brandon.
Correct.
I think it's really, really imperative that people learn where the financial system came from and then where is it going, especially with the crypto side of things, because I think there's going to be a whole range of people. And I hate to say this, unfortunately, I think the older people, probably 60 plus, are the ones that are going to get nailed on this one. I think they're going to get absolutely royally screwed over because they're not prepared for it. They're not sure what's going on. They're not understanding the situation, and they need to learn how to effectively have cash in a digital world.
And I'm finding that generation is very susceptible to scams as well. I heard of one individual who has lost about $500,000, a couple of 100,000 to scams, and totaled at about $500,000.
Yep. So,
this is about the third case I've come across in that age group where people are going, I don't really understand the technology. I'm going to give that responsibility over someone else to figure it out for me.
Yep.
And they get scammed every time.
Well, we're well past the Nigerian prince stage, aren't we? I mean, the scammers are so sophisticated. It's ridiculous. I literally in the last couple of days, I've had stuff that's come through for me about the post office, like,
you're getting those as well.
Oh, I'm just so sick of it. And I tell you right now, the font is perfect and it all looks right. And I just like look at it and go,
the best one I ever saw?
No, but like it's hard not to be tricked by these things because the font is the same.
And the phone numbers come up as Australian numbers as well.
The worst one I've ever seen was an email that came through from ANZ, So one of my bank accounts is ANZ. So the terms and conditions page went to the ANZ terms and conditions. Like all the links except the one went to the actual ANZ website.
Wow.
And then you click on the one in the middle and took it to a tracking bot. So when you tried to log in, it grabbed all your details.
Well, look, I got out of the ANZ because I found them to be unethical. I thought that they were very anti-Australian, and I think that,
our mortgage is with them. So
I think
and because of everything that's happened, we can't refinance. So
Gotcha.
that mortgage is kind of stuck there for now.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
anyway.
that's my personal opinion. Others might have a better experience, but I had a lousy experience with them, and I didn't feel that my financial security was there. I felt that they had breaches, and also I felt that they were interfering with my banking.
The best one I've had so far is Bendigo.
Okay.
And I don't know if they're still around Credit United. They used to be a really good one too. But we do have another comment
You're
here from Diplo. Normies will give up their wallets cold store only. So that's pretty much not just giving your wallets away. And also, guys, if you do have questions, send them through. ANZ is unethical. I guess they're the only bank that's ethical.
No, absolutely not. I'm just talking about my personal experience. Banks and ethics, they go hand in hand, literally different hands. I really appreciate your point there. Absolutely. So who made that comment?
Diplo.
Yeah, okay.
Deploy. No, he's normally watching on.
Okay.
You know him. You actually know him personally.
Okay.
I forget what his real name is.
Whoever it happens to be, bloody good point.
Yep.
Oh dear.
So crypto wallets, I think people need to be prepared for what's coming. I think digital currencies, the government is going to ram it down people's throat. There's too many, as the viewers pointed out, too many normies that are just going to accept it hook, line, and sinker. I don't think there's enough people who are awake to actually stop it at this stage. Now, this may change. The move away from it is becoming bigger and bigger.
Sure.
The amount of people who are actually using cash more and more these days and the bit that makes me really happy is that the younger people are actually starting to look at cash more and more because I think they're starting to slowly understand, you know what, mum and dad may not be batshit crazy. They may just be like, genuinely concerned about my future. So I'm going to throw in on this. There's good hopes there, but is it too late? Like,
no, nothing's too late because you know what you can do. You can backtrack, right? Okay, you can actually get people in Parliament. I know this is hard to believe, but you might actually get ethical politicians. I know I'm talking about something that is just
that's nearly as obsolete as a ethical bank.
Yeah, it is. I know. I'm a dreamer. What can I say? But I think that. Okay, if you could get ethical politicians, let's pretend we can, and these things can actually be, backtracked. Okay, this is not set in stone. Laws change. Freedoms can be. Look, they want to
name a country that got their freedoms back without a revolution.
Well, time for a revolution. That's what I feel. I really do. Okay, let's just talk about something that is related, and I want to work this in. Is this? We were speaking to someone earlier today about the $250 for your school kids, right? Okay, which is something from what's his name, the Premier Crook. Anyway, he's put forward you get $250 for your school kids if they're at a high school. But you just have to do minor things apart from
scan your face.
Scan your face as part of the ID.
You need a blood
digital
sample
ID
as well.
Unbelievable. So a full digital ID with a scan of your face. Now, if you can be bought for $250, then quite frankly, you bloody well deserve it, right? I've got a government department who's been trying to buy my privacy, okay? And it's not going to happen.
You're in Australia. Like, you don't... Okay, sorry.
I know how you feel about it. I know, but you know what? It's also my responsibility. It's my responsibility to own as much of my privacy. Yes, I know.
So you have no privacy?
Very little.
No, you have none. Every single key on this is recorded and sent out. Every single key you do, everything you do. The only way to have true privacy in Australia is to go create a shelf company, go buy some rural land out somewhere, turn off your phone, turn off all electrical devices, and just go live off the land.
Which sounds like a good option for me.
I hate to say it. It's
as a broadcaster,
it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be very tough.
Hey, satellite phones.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's very much a case of, I know what you did last summer. That's what our Australian government, world government is doing. And I say world government because that's what's happening.
I don't think the solution is hiding.
No,
the solution is taking back your power.
The best defense is attack. Okay?
If you hide, they're just going to do everything around you, then eventually come with guns. Because that's all what's not happening. We've seen all the movies that have done that sort of stuff. So they're prepping everyone for it.
Now, Yeah, with the prepping, any questions there, mate?
We do actually. So, Josh, you can get a phone without Apple or Google on it. Yeah, but the moment you do any Google searching, you get it gets added as part of the cookie.
Yeah,
so
but you could
it obsoletes the
DuckDuckGo.
phone.
You could DuckDuckGo.
Yeah, you can DuckDuckGo, but the moment you do anything that's associated with Apple, Google, and there's a whole heap of other apps as well, like all your banking apps and all that sort of stuff, it goes. I think the best bet is just go get yourself an old Nokia 3310. Let's see, things can be changed for the better without revolutions. It can be changed for the better, but I just don't know a country where it's happened.
Well, okay, on that point, I think he's got a good point, and it's this, is that most people don't realize we are in war right now.
We are.
And I'm not talking about bullets and guns. We are in an intellectual war right now, right? Yeah. We have been since 2020. People have started to wake up and realize the propaganda getting rammed down their throats, left, right, and center. And it's exciting in the sense that the internet, despite the censorship that's been going on, has allowed people to get the truth out there.
Well, you're looking at it right now. You're looking right now at this screen. This is what's going on.
Internet is a great savior. That's my only hope, because one of those sayings, like, once it's on the net, you can't get rid of it. And it's absolutely true. Like, it's impossible to. Well, AI might change that, but
who knows?
The internet has been the greatest source of information. It's the greatest source of FU to the government. I think see that I cleaned it up just for you, Derek. I think the internet is going to be the savior. It's not Donald Trump. It's going to be the internet and the common people. And I hate to say it, meme.
I think
lords.
Donald might help. I
think meme. See, straight away, that is a meme. I think the meme lords that are sharing all the memes, I think they're going to be the greatest source of freedom for everyone out there.